The Dragonfly. This portmanteau Providence rules over the desert with an iron grasp, laying rapid waste to any unfortunate soul that wanders a bit too close to her spawning grounds, using her overwhelming speed, strength, and the ability to spawn her offspring to swarm you. What if we could harness her powers for ourselves? And I ain't talking about a big chest, a furnace, or some fancy flooring, oh no. I'm talking about... oh yeah. Now this is more like it. Today we're going to be surviving a year as the Dragonfly. She's a bit smaller than I remember. This is of course because we're using the Reign of Runts mod. I've got to be very careful saying that word. This mod is a classic. It lets you play as the Giants. Well, not exactly giant, but it's the bloomin' original Giants from the titular Reign of Giants DLC, but in a compact form with cool abilities and perks. An incredibly well put together mod that deserves all the attention it can get, so let's give it some. I'll be playing as the Dragonfly, and my goal is to survive a year, and possibly take over the throne from the actual Dragonfly. Will I be successful? Probably, but let's find out. Starting up autumn with day 1 like always. Early days as a Dragonfly isn't too much different than any other bog standard survivor stuck in the constant. Despite our soon to be royal status, we are also degraded to the simple rigmarole of sticks, grass, flint, yada yada, except we found Chester really early. Probably the earliest I've ever found him, to be honest. Speaking of early finds, look, our kingdom awaits. The desert. Of course we're going to be living here since our abilities really benefit us if we can be close to our home turf. Plus the desert is a traditionally amazing place to live anyway, with all the gold, hounds, tumbleweeds, and of course, the lava pools of the Dragonfly's den. You can't really see her, but oh lord is she up there. Anyway, let's make our base right here. Close enough, but not too close. With these lava pools we're able to show off the Dragonfly's first unique perk. For a small health and hunger penalty, halved if you use Ash, you can spawn larvae. Lava? I'm gonna call them lava. These little fighters are different from the standard ones you get from fighting the Dragonfly proper. Think of these guys as little fighters that don't light stuff on fire, but need to be constantly tended to, else they just die. I took my newborn over to the local forest to do what I do best. Burn it down to the ground. Mostly for fun, but also for charcoal for our crockpot. So I moseyed on back to base, upgrading my science machine into an alchemy engine. Gonna need this to get a crockpot. But I'll also need more materials for that, namely golden rocks. Best place to get these are from the nearby hound field. But I need help clearing them out, so I got myself some more lava. These things absolutely melt, pun intended. I love them. With the hounds out of the way for now, I grabbed the materials I need to make myself a crockpot and a fridge thanks to these gears from tumbleweeds. I love those tumble guys. Day 4 was some basic resource gathering, which in the desert translates to running around the outer edge of the desert and grabbing the tumbleweeds that got lodged against the coast. Ash is useful as this character for spawning lava, as well as a quick snack in a pinch. Not breaking any awards though, just 2 HP and hunger. With an additional perk if you gorge on it too much. I'll show you that soon. My hunger situation isn't the best, can't even put together a full crockpot meal, so I spend the limited time I have to turf up the ground and plan out the base cosmetically. Bad idea, I know. But what do you come to expect from me? Anyway, I head out to look for food, coming across the Antlion Desert right next to ours as well as the Moonstone. Nothing useful immediately, but who knows. Time to get food. Grabbing the odd berry bush, carrot, spider warrior on this weird set piece that I never knew summoned more spiders, whoops, I grab a healthy amount of berry bushes and berries before dashing back home to set everything up. This world has some very odd generation, lots of dead ends and looping roads that will be quite problematic later. Arriving at home, fixing up a meal, I'm faced with my first wave of insanity. The Dragonfly has decent health and hunger stats, but her sanity is abysmal, meaning you'll flip and flop between sanity real fast. Thankfully I found some green caps, so roasting those got my sanity back up to manageable levels. Not that I'm an expert on fighting my demons, if only I was this good at fighting my real demons. Anyway, my babies perished, which launched me into a rage. This is the secondary state of this old girl. It gives her increased damage, speed, max health, and best of all, a huge sanity drain. So combined with her small sanity pool means entering the state will drive you nuts. Fast. I utilised my special time in this power state by planting my berry bushes. I mean, there wasn't much else I could do in it, all honesty. Don't be mean to me. I wrap up the day with some incredibly essential landscaping and woodcutting before being rudely ushered into day 7. Our base is looking like a Biddo base, alright. All it's missing is more useless turf. So I went out on yet another trip to collect food, materials, a basic resourcing trip. But we got our first hound attack. In preparation for this daunting wave, I ate 8 ash, which forced me into my enraged mode before I kill it right away. Just one. Sick. The fire damage from any of my abilities won't light stuff on fire, which is really useful. Don't need another character that can accidentally light stuff on fire now, do we? After tossing and toiling with my insanity demons, I gussied up the base a little bit. I work on a garden digamajig to make a cool garden. Soon this will be busting with all sorts of crops and... My base is already shaping up quite well. I moved my trees closer to the big evil dragonfly and her lava pools, my lava pools, before I gathered more tumbleweed materials. I seriously cannot praise tumbleweeds enough. I love getting all the fun bits of loot from them, all the while getting grass and twigs. Saves me from having to bring saplings and grass tufts closer to the base and keeping them watered. I use all the grass and twigs I got to make a handful of drying racks. I think dried meats are going to be my main source of healing this playthrough. Fun fact, this character isn't carnivorous like you'd expect. They can eat anything just fine, including ash and charcoal of course. I don't know, I felt like a meat-only diet would fit this character more, but what do I know? It's not like dragons and dragonflies are notoriously carnivorous beings. Dragons aren't even real, Ash. I wanted to move some pig houses nearer to the base. With all the monster meat I get from the hound mounds, I think I can make a decent living farming werepigs. So I decided to head out and look for the Pig King village. Also gonna try and pawn off the trinkets I've been slowly accumulating from tumbleweeds, so 2 birds with 1 stone. But remember how I said the world generation was weird on this map? Yeah, all of the roads loop in on themselves constantly and the branches are so peculiar. These are default world generation settings too, which makes it extra odd. So I was just putzing about looking for God knows anything. I killed a tall bird in record speed because the larvae are insanely strong. Only downside being that they die if not fed every so often. But feeding them is more tedious than just making more, so I usually just let them die. Fighting some werepigs, spiders, demons, a very uneventful full moon. A bloomin' shame we didn't find the Pig King village and in turn Glommer. Ah well. I found a swamp biome with pig heads and a touchstone. I sure hope this touchstone doesn't get any use later in the playthrough. That would be crazy. The pig skin from all of these heads will help us with our Pig King village and armor however. Cooking frog legs on these lava, really cool little feature by the way, before finding some more clockworks and rapidly laying waste to them with my small army of glowing boys and girls. So proud of my babies. Time to reward them and myself by smashing up some pig houses to bring them closer home. What a silly little world. Surprise! It's winter on day 13. Yep, I put shorter seasons on. Look, I know surviving more days is a more immersive feat, but I love the increased speed the game takes when they're shorter. I explained my reasoning and logic in the Tiny Base video, go check that out if you want. Also, subscribe if you're enjoying the videos. Thank you all so much for being so supportive and sticking with me for all my styles of content I've been doing recently. I told you these types of videos weren't going anywhere. Anyway, back to the game. For more stone in hand, I do some more zoning and erect my pigman village. It's not the world's biggest village. I mean, it barely even counts as a village. Shut up. I made more fridges to compensate for my tiny village before I was forced to be enraged due to my last lava passing. When enraging, you do a little damaging nova which stunned this poor bird, which is the only thing I was able to expend my rage upon. Time to put these pigmen to use. Using the monster meat I gathered from the nearby hounds and spiders, I turned them into werepigs to create better meats. Our food isn't the best, especially with most of it drying at all times, so it'll help making a stock of it whilst we can. Our hunger is fine, but constantly spawning lava will drain it faster than normal. Other than that, the day was filled with fighting spiders, nightmares, hound attacks, nothing too noteworthy. Our lava and enraged form make combat an absolute treat to handle. if you can look past the HP draining from spawning them and the constant sanity drain when being big mad. Anyway, that led us briskly into day 15. What happened today? Jack and Squat. Resource gathering, tumbleweed hunting, map exploring. My goals for this series were humble in nature, and for humble goals you need humble roots. A healthy and developed foundation is paramount to effortless long-term survival. Or something along those lines. I don't know, I'm just waffling on. Hey look, it's day 16. Can you guess what happened today? That's right, the same old. I did mine a bunch of rocks and get more grass and twigs to expand our drying racks and pigman houses. The goal here was to get a sustainable source of jerky as our main healing supply. I didn't want to mess with bees or spiders for their respective healing items, so may as well use what we have an abundance of nearby instead. We headed down into the caves for a short spell to get the usual stuff. Light bulbs make lanterns, of course. Usually do this way sooner, but with the little light my lava gave off, I didn't see it all that too urgent. Ah well, we got it now. Now we can optimize our tumbleweed to the next level and do it in the dark. Game breaking, earth shattering, mind blowing, day changing, wood cutting. We did need some chests after all. Whilst the timeless tradition of dumping garbage on the ground has worked for us just fine, I guess it's not that practical. Enjoy chests. One thing I was terrified about basing here was having tumbleweeds ignite on the lava pools and barrel into the base, smouldering it back into cinders. But that hasn't happened. Not yet, at least. Foreshadowing? Ooh, maybe? Day 19 was spent preparing. Preparing for what? Oh, don't you worry. Just ignore the clock. And my abysmal stats. Sheesh, did you know apparently it's a British thing to underestimate terrible situations? I mean, everything is fine. Everything will be fine. Oh yeah, Deerclops. I have to use a mod to ensure it actually spawns when playing on shorter seasons. All mods are in the description, by the way. But I'll be brutally honest with you, I had no idea this girl was spawning tonight. So when I said I was preparing, I was lying to you. I was just on autopilot. Case in point, we ended up fighting this thing in my base. Nothing got destroyed except my mental well-being. And yeah, the ice damage obliterates the lava, so they were no help at all, unfortunately. But we still killed it. Heck yeah. With little resistance. Ignore all my stats once more. I will cry if you critique me without my consent. Thank you, have a lovely day. I have no idea what to do with all my frozen babies. I guess they make a good reminder to my dog parenting skills. A burden forever reminding me of my hubris. Oh. I remember I live in a desert at this point, so I grabbed some of the cactus and cook it to restore my sanity. Only issue was that picking the cactus made me enrage, that lowered my sanity even more. Look, just shut up and let's move on to day 22, where I do more professional gamer maneuvers like mining lots of ice in preparation for summer, and then almost melting all of the ice by trying to warm myself up by a fire. But it didn't melt, and ice won't melt if I keep it in an ice box. I'm almost a massive idiot. We've got plenty of ice ready for summer now. Building ice fling-o-matics feels sacrilegious as the Dragonfly since fire is our MO, but my base being cinders is in fact not my MO. And with that, our short winter is almost— wait, hang on, I almost forgot about McTusk. I quickly dash over to the only McTusk camp I knew about and pray to RNGesus himself that he was on my side. And with a rushed battle on the final night of winter, we got a Walrus Tusk. No Tam-o-Shanter unfortunately, but I'd argue the Walrus Tusk is way more important. Anyway, winter done, transition time, woo! It's spring. We made it. And you made it halfway through the video. Congratulations. That's more of an impressive feat than what I just did. Give yourself a treat. You deserve it. Now that the snow has melted, we can trek ourselves to greener pastures, uncovering more of the map as we reach. But before I do any of that, I've got to put one of my dead offspring to good use with this chili, and there we go. Look at him. It's like a mini-me. We got 3 levels of Dragonfly in this world now. That's too many. I think we got to take that Dragonfly in the desert down a peg, don't you think? Not now though. There's other giants to take care of this season. The first spring showers, blessed us on day 24. With this Deerclops eyeball, I made an umbrella because what else am I going to use it for? The Houndius Shootius? As if, get real. Full rain protection is a godsend no matter how you twist it. Also, walking cane. So we can now zoom around the map at breakneck speeds. Ish. We also got some more hound attacks, but these won't ever be worth mentioning since we live near hound mounds and I'm always fighting them anyway. So unless an ice hound murders all my lava, I ain't gonna mention it. Spoiled that a little bit. Oh well. After remembering to make a lightning rod before my base crumbusts, we roll on over the clock to the next day, invigorated with a drive to conquer the caves. Or just see what's going on over here. Little bit of a soggy exploration here and there, and I believe we find the ruins. And then I get pranked by a depth worm in disguise. I swear this is the first bloody time this has happened in my entire life. Cool, awesome, I want to die. I'm getting out of here. Exploring the caves during spring isn't the best. Let's come back during summer or something. Out of those accursed caves, after finding barely anything, we hop to the surface to also barely find anything, it feels. Just kidding, we do find a deciduous forest biome. Hopefully this means the pickings around here. That would be insufferable if it wasn't. Been looking for this one since day one. Here he is, and you thought I was leading you into a haha, he doesn't find the picking bit. Joke's on you, bucko. We can now hand in all our junk and get gold and... oh, cool. Candy. It's Hallowed Nights after all. I make a candy bag to keep all the candy in to make collecting the gold a little bit easier next time before heading back home from Spell to drop off some stuff. Finally finishing the berry farm and making some werepigs. We're going to need lots of jerky for what I've got planned. It is annoying though because it is spring, so our stuff will dry significantly slower. Not much we can do about that, I'm afraid. I also made a tent at some point, I forgot when, but I can use that to recover HP now after spawning lava. A really useful item. I gotta make tents way more often now, huh? After that lush night's sleep, we got to day 28. This day was more killing werepigs. Any form of combat with my lava is satisfyingly quick. They may attack slowly but have decent HP and their damage adds up fast, making quick work of werepigs and especially hounds. Other than that, I got some more turf to make a little flower garden near my base so I have an easy access to butterflies right next to home plate, and possibly see about getting some bees at some point. Or I'll just throw that onto the pile of things I won't do, like this massive garden we have. So comes day 29. I just collected a bunch of butterflies to replant on the little garden I made. Butterfly wings are okay for topping up our HP and hunger for the low cost of oh yo it's free. I wrap up the day by making the biggest army I can, fighting some hounds and getting some more monster meat. Same stuff, different day. Awakening on day 30, I grab a bunch of... nothing really, and head out to look for a moose goose to fight. One of the other so-called giants that may challenge my reign. We just gotta find a nest that has... oh, here we go. God, look at all those muslings and goslings. I think the fight will be fine if we just ignore those. Anyway, with absolutely zero preparation, we fight the moose. It's really not that hard of a fight since the goose only attacks one target at a time. And our main method of fighting is multiple targets at a time. So it gets shredded pretty fast. But... yeah, then the gosling's enraged, and there's a lot of them. I don't think I've ever seen this many goslings in my life before. I run as fast as my little dragonfly legs can take me, trying to dash into a nearby cave, but I was too late. I died. There were too many, and I died mid-transition into the caves. But we ain't gonna let that take us down. I quickly go back up to the surface. Fun fact, the death timer does not pause during the loading screen, and quickly look for a touchstone. Running over to the closest one we can find on the swamp. With mere seconds left so we don't get killed by Charlie upon revival, we're back. Time to get our stuff and pretend all of that didn't happen. The Moslings did hang about for a little bit, but they were quick to flee the scene, so I took that moment to grab all my stuff and head on back home. I found a fleshy bulb too. Nice. A pleasant little treat after we got absolutely honked upon by like a billion angry little infant geese. It's comical in a way. I killed the moose with an army of my children, she killed me with an army of hers. Poetic. Anyway, it was a full moon, so after getting some stuff back in order, I dashed over to the Pig King village, grabbing food and junk along the way, and returning home with old Glommer Boy. Nice. I tried to enlist the help of my pigmen to chop trees for me, but they're cowards, and the second the sun goes down they just run away. No wonder why Wirt is the best character in the entire game. Worms are awesome. Can I do a Wirt run next, guys? Please? I'll be good. Honest. I deserve a treat. Oh. Putting our little butterfly farm, I guess you could call it, to good use, we march onwards through day 33, approaching the latter end of spring. I'd said my piece on shorter seasons, but I still prefer these things over longer ones. I don't even like playing the game fast, so the game forcing me to speed it up a little bit is a treat. Love it for that. Also love the tumbleweeds. Who doesn't? Never need to plant grass, tufts or sapling near my base. And I'm such a lazy git and you'll love me for it, don't even pretend I'll cry. The last day of spring. What better thing to do than hunt? I haven't done much of any hunting this playthrough, or in a long time overall really. So I hunt these trails until I find scratch marks? Are these new? Did like a survivor run through here? Oh wait no, it's just a Eucus. I'm not fighting this thing right now, but what I will do is go back home, get a bunch of lava, and come on back to fight this thing. Oh yeah, it's summer! I did say it was the last day of spring yesterday. Huh. Anyway, we really shouldn't be out here with nobody to call off so far from base, should we? Oh well, I struggled with the Eucus for a little bit, unable to get a single hit off on her before I got a little bit tilted and just used my pan flute on her to put her to sleep and then insta-kill her with my brood. Okay, now back to base. I made an endothermic fire pit as I realise I'm in a bit of a situation right now. I have no way of making ice flingamatics. I mean, I got the ice and the gold but no gears, so I run to the nearby antline desert to find something. Anything that could help us. And I did. I luckily found some more clockworks that my lava made quick work of. And you know, whilst I was here, I decided to do a little bit of oasis fishing, once the sandstorm started, and found the desert goggles nearly right away. This will save us so much hassle fighting the antlion. Speaking of which, here she is. The desert was so good to us. We shall return. There can only be one ruler of the sands here. Returning home, we finally made those flingamatics. Now our base can't tragically catch fire. A shame. I do love watching things go up in smoke. I'm really getting too into this character, huh? But now that it's summer, we can dry our meats much faster. All that jerky will be used soon, because we got 2 things to kill this season. The antlion, and come the end of the season, the dragonfly. We're taking out 2 thrones of the desert this season. Or gonna try to at least. Let's crack on. But I may have made a little bit of a silly mistake with my lava at some point, and yeah, I gotta be a little bit careful with these flingamatics, don't I? Throw them onto the pile. After that setback, we were prepared for a fight. Log suits and desert goggles, extra thermal stone, bunch of spicy babies and some jerky to help stay healthy. We march onto the Antlion's kingdom to declare war. Not before a hound attack. And then my base nearly catching fire, killing off half my brood, so I had to spawn more. Don't talk to me about this one. Anyway, fight time. The fight, as you can see, went perfectly fine. One of few bosses you can easily dodge if you just look at where you're standing and make sure you don't get cornered. The lava and this random pigman I had with me helped us reduce this so-called leader to the dust where they belong. Easy peasy. With spoils in hand, we go back to our kingdom, knowing there's but one more step between us and total desert domination. But day 39 was more basic base chores and recuperation. I've really gotta bring Tig back to the next challenge. Having to juggle all this stuff myself is a nightmare. Yeah, you know what, they'll be back for the next one, I promise. Maybe. Depends on their schedule. Either way, we gotta start preparing for the Dragonfly. And I'll be honest with you, it's been years since I've fought this thing. Here's the last image I have saved from a Dragonfly fight. Yeah. That is what I have come to expect. We won that fight, by the way. I know that you need to build walls to block the lava, but not the Dragonfly, but I have no idea how you do that, and I'm stubborn, so I'm not going to look it up. So, the first thing is walls. Lots of walls. And that needs rocks. Lots of rocks. After setting down the first things I'll need, don't question it please, I go and grab some more marble to make marble suits. I'm just going to tank this boss since I have no idea how to kite it. So overwhelming defense is the way to go for me. So I grab a bunch of marble, a bunch of rocks for the walls, and head on back to set this thing up. I extend a very long wall out to hopefully block the Dragonfly's lava. Traitorous little things from reaching me, since those will do the brunt of the damage if they get to me. Once the wall was done, I needed some more grass for armor and weapons. I wanted a few more marble suits and a fresh handbag, so I set out to get them. It took a few days of back and forth with what I needed until I felt we were ready enough. Emphasis on the felt and enough. Day 44. Judgment Day. It's time we fight this thing. I pull its aggro and chase it around my wall. I thought this thing couldn't fly over walls. The wiki has lied to me once more. Dope. Oh well, I just hope that the lava themselves don't know how to pathfind around this wall, because right now it's working just fine. But newsflash, they did. Okay, this is a problem. I mean, we could fight the lava, but I didn't know that at the time, so I just panicked, ran back to the base to grab some stone before locking myself in my panic chamber. The lava couldn't reliably hit me from here, but still did get the odd hit in. Again, I needed to emphasize, I did little research before fighting this, and haven't done it in such a long time. I know that I needed to use the pan flute to keep the dragonfly from becoming enraged when its offspring died, but I did slip up at one point, damaging my panic room so lava could break in. This was not good. I had no way to repair my panic room, so I decided to fight the dragonfly in my base. We're dying on my terms, you harlot. Come down here and kiss me like a... Oh, it flew away. Oh. Oh. Well, we survived a year-ish at least. We didn't kill the true ruler of the desert, so we're destined to once more be nothing but sand beneath her wings. Oh well. At least I had fun exploring this world with this cool mod. Will I continue this? I got no idea, but I will continue using this mod in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this old style video, as it was a treat to work on. Massive shout out to everybody that made it this far, our channel members, and all of you. Take care everybody, I love you lots, and have a good one. Bye bye.